Hello and welcome to C Major Bass Edition. Today we're going to learn the C Major 2-octave scale. Now because the bass is so big, instead of shifting all the way down to the upper positions, we're going to do a drop down fingering, meaning that we'll go partially up and then drop back down to our lower strings to complete the scale. For other instruments, their instruments are smaller and they don't require so many leaps and shifting for this particular scale, so that's why we've modified this fingering. Before you play, a couple things to remember. One, make sure your instrument is in tune. Either use an app on your phone, an actual tuner, or just go to Google and type in tuner.ninja, and your whole screen will turn into a giant tuner to make sure that your instrument is accurate. We want your instrument to start accurate because when we play our scales, we are training our fingers to fall in the exact right place. It's very specific. So we want to start on an instrument that's well tuned because we want our hand to know what it feels like to play in tune. That said, if your hand isn't being held with the correct posture, fingers are collapsed, thumbs to the side, elbows are down, well then you're actually practicing bad habits and you're teaching your hand what in tune feels like the wrong way. So then at some point when you fix that habit, now you have to reteach yourself how to play in tune. So take time to save time. Right now, pay attention to every time you put your finger down. Are your fingers round? Is your arm above the instrument? Are you pulling the strings into the bass? Is your elbow at an angle where you have leverage and where you're not buckling in another joint, where you're having a hard time pressing the string down and have to involve your thumb by squeezing? We don't want those things. So go slow to learn fast. All right, here we go. We're going to start. First, we have to know what a C major scale is. C major, the key of that particular scale, has no sharps and no flats. Take a look at the notes right in front of you. It's C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. Everything is natural. No sharps, no flats. Okay, first step. Find C on the A string. So we're on our A string, we find C, we check in with our hand, we're on the tip of our finger, our thumb's in a great position, our elbow is in a great place, and we play C with our second finger. Now what comes after C? D, which is open. Again, as I mentioned, because the bass is so big, we're now going to drop down to play our open E. And this is tricky. The bass is big, so we are going to shift for our first time. Move your hand from first position to half position. And when you put your first finger down in half position on the E string, you get F. Now you can stay in half position and play fourth finger G, and then roll to open A. Now back to first position for first finger B on the A string. And back to second finger C. All right, open D. Now let's tackle that second octave. First finger E, second finger F. Notice that space in between my first and second finger. Roll over to open G. First finger A, fourth finger B, and then a mini shift. We go from B to C because that's a half step. It's not a far way to move. Fourth finger C. Let's go backwards. Fourth finger C, shift, fourth finger B, first finger A, open G, second finger F, first finger E, open D, second finger C, first finger B, open A, half position, fourth finger G, first finger F, open E, out of note, so roll back up to open D, and second finger C. Good job. Remember, as you go across the bass, make sure your body is involved so you can stay on top. It's really hard to play E string notes if the bass is on the side. You have no leverage. Keep the bass in towards your body and make sure your arm comes around the instrument. Also, notice when you shift, my elbow doesn't change heights. I just open and close slightly to get to a new position. My fingers stay round and on the string. So when I do scales, I like to use a metronome because it organizes my practice. I can see how quickly I'm getting around the instrument and how accurately. I start slow because I want to make sure that my fingers have a chance to get to the right place. I also want to make a chance to make a really great sound with my bow on the instrument. So you can either go to Google and just hit in metronome, and a metronome will appear on your screen, or you might download an app to have on some other device. I've got a metronome right here. It's called Pro Metronome. It's free on the App Store, and I've got it set to 60 beats per minute. We're going to start by playing the C major scale with half notes. So that means 2 beats per note. And here we go. 3, 4. Drop down to open E, F, G. Back to first position. F. Good. Mini shift. Great job. Twice per note, quarter notes. 1, 2, twice per note. Roll to open E, half position F. Per note and 8th notes, Retzi and open E. First finger F, here's G, here's A, C. Good. Position, 4th finger G. Good. Open E and C. Nice job. Now, you're always welcome to speed things up. You can choose a faster tempo, or you can play fewer times per note. But I recommend not speeding up the left hand until you are very comfortable with where you have to go on the instrument. If you have to think too much with what's the next note, what finger do I use, you should stay slow until that becomes automatic. because then you can speed it up and it will almost be like a reflex. You'll be able to focus on the music and the sound and playing with others, and your fingers will move around the fingerboard. But that only happens if you go slow. Then you learn fast. Nice job, everybody. And remember, if you practice every day, by the end of the year, you'll be taller.